What's up, America? It's your girl bringing you can use. We are live, the number one internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeart radio station guaranteed to feed your brain. I need prayers. I got a migraine and I done took medicine and it ain't even budge. But I know before this day is over, it's going to be gone.
Yes, it will.
I'm not taking no more medicine. It's just going to have to go on.
Do you ever try any homeopathic stuff?
I try acupuncture. Right now, I put the mint on my temples, the back of my neck, and on my palms.
As do I. doTERRA peppermint oil. I got it. You got to get some.
So I'm just like, this right side, this eye is going to start watering. I ain't crying. It's just a pain. I know it's going to do it. But I'm here, and we're going to make it do what it do. So my goal here today is to inform, educate, entertain, and inspire. In this intellectual dialogue, we're going to be sharing information, giving introspection, and providing inspiration. If I just go to a stare blank, I know Deborah and Burl got me. So yes, I'm telling y'all, if the pain, sometimes it'll just stop me from literally talking. But I'm here. I have my dermatologist who has helped me with my oily skin and my acne. And she's also been a friend and a mentor besides that. And when you get people in your circle like that, especially when it's dealing with your health, it's good to keep them. So she is here and she'll be talking to you all, especially African American women, as far as their skin, keeping it healthy. And I'm glad that she took time out of her schedule to come into the studio. She also has an event coming up that we will be broadcasting live for next Saturday, and she'll be talking about that. A greater way to network, meet people, and get sponsors, which is huge. I'm telling you guys, you just don't know how huge. So I'm letting you know I have been trying to get a sponsor probably 6 months, and they called me out the blue yesterday. Said, come pick up the check.
To God be the glory.
So I can't go today because of my headache, but I will be there tomorrow. I'm telling you, you have to stay the course. And we had a great event. I just got through asking Deborah where she was. I assumed Burl was working because this is where I met Burl at. And that was Chicago's networking event. And I looked at her and told her that I was going to stalk her and she was going to be part.
Event at the River Edge
it was
Hospital.
At River Edge Hospital. I don't know the address, but it was right on Roosevelt Road. They have it every year. This was their 4th year. The first 2 years I spoke at the event. The last 2 years, I was a table host. Last year, Deborah Vines was a table host. Last year, Deborah Vines did all the Facebook Live and all the pictures behind the thing. So we didn't do none of that. We had a couple, but I walked in, and so I said, maybe she's running late. So I waited. We got ready to get started, and I was like, well, where is Deborah Vines?
Where is Deborah Vines?
So Katrina was, Mayor Thompson was there, Senator Lightfoot was there, the mayor of River Forest was there, and I kind of glanced at Mayor Thompson, and I looked at her, I was like, where's that? And she was looking at me, I was like, where's that? And so when we had our break, and she came up, I said, where's Deborah? And she was like, and I'm like, Deborah's supposed to be at this event. So I hadn't talked to you, Burl, so I wasn't sure if you were going to be there, but I thought maybe because of your work schedule.
Right.
But I said, well, maybe she's going to come in a little while. So through the whole thing,
I'm always on.
She always there. And she never did. And when she walked in right now, I was like, what happened to you yesterday? She's like, I wasn't supposed to be here. I'm talking about River Edge. And she was like, I forgot. I didn't get the reminder. I ain't gonna say she forgot. She didn't get the reminder.
I didn't.
And I can't believe she didn't get
the confirmation.
Oh, the confirmation. Not even a reminder, just the confirmation.
No, I knew about the date, but I was waiting for a confirmation, and I never got a confirmation.
And so they got 2 events the first Friday in November. We're going to talk about that too and why you should be there. They always hosting events. They have an event where you can get CEUs, credit hours too for each event.
And let's give an acknowledgement to River Edge Hospital and Executive Director Carly Collach and Tandra Rutledge. They are doing them, and Mike Rudolph.
And yes, Mike too.
And Amanda Norris. That team is doing an amazing job keeping a community connected.
Yes.
As it relates to mental health and developmental health. And they do a lot of other things.
They do a lot.
As it relates to keeping community connected. So I just want to give an acknowledgement to River Edge Hospital.
Shout out to you guys.
Love you guys.
Great work. They keep information information because there's a resource fair.
Absolutely.
Next Friday. Yep. We're going to talk about that. So it's free. And you can even vend for free.
And the Answer Incorporated will be there.
And D Flat Tommy Water will be there.
So, actually, do you have their phone number? Because you probably should shout out their
phone
number.
I will.
Let's look it up.
Because I'll make sure that
I know space is limited there. So you can vend free and they might be full.
They might be full, but you can always call and
find
out.
Just to double check.
Call and find out. But it's an amazing event. It's all types of vendors there, from business, Flat Tummy Water, to and developmental disability agencies, to mental health, to it is just an array of information. So definitely you should be there. It's from 9 to 3.
Well, the CEU is 9 to 11.
9 to 11.
And then the resource fair is from 11 to 2.
But it starts at 9.
9. You can come to one event at 9 or come to the other event at 11.
Well, because they have a speakers event that you can get CEUs for, but you can actually visit the vendors from 8:30, I believe, until 9, and then you go to the class, and then after the class, you come back and you visit it. And they provide lunch as well.
They provide lunch as well.
So there's no reason for you not to go.
And they do feed you a continental breakfast.
Oh my God, you get a continental breakfast and a lunch.
And a lunch, because yesterday, when we got there,
they always feed
they had the spread for lunch.
Always. And
then at the end of the event, because I kept on saying, we're not going to have no wine. I need some wine. And when I looked up, they was coming in with them carts. They had cheese, crackers, fruit, cheesecake, a fruit tray. I mean, not a fruit tray, a sweets tray. And then they had us. And they was like, you can get up. I was the first one over there.
Sounds like they covered all bases.
They covered all bases. I look forward to that event every year. And it was packed. The house was packed as usual. And they stood up. They had a lot of new people that were in the building. So I probably want to say maybe 30 women new were there.
Fantastic.
So it was amazing. Then they had State Farm there, and they had a raffle. They gave out two raffles. So it was really, really nice. It's an event that you need to know about and you need to be involved. Absolutely. So we're going to get the phone number and the address for next Friday, and hopefully you'll be able to attend either as a vendor or just as a guest, so you can get the information, because we need more information. We know the more prepared and more knowledge we have. So today, again, we have Dr. Aga. She's from Summit Dermatology in Oak Brook. She's going to be in the studio today. And we also going to talk about one piece of advice on how you can market your product, service, or brand on no budget or low budget.
I like that.
That's a good one.
So if you have something that worked for you, you can call in. I'm going to share a couple of mine. Y'all going to be like, what? I'm telling you, it works. It works. So don't go anywhere. You're tuned to IntellectualRadio.com. Making Waves with Miss Darci every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 12. Please call a number, and Deborah will give you a number to call in, and we're going to go to break.
That number is 708-223-8953. Call with your questions, comments, or just to say hi.
Yes. Back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. And please share the broadcast.
Hi, my name is Tina Olivia Pate. Listen to Making Waves with Miss Darci on iHeart and iHeart radio station, Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. We love you, Miss Darci.
American Express for travel and entertainment worldwide.
Just show them this, the American Express card.
Don't leave home without it.
But someday, I may even use it on the moon. It's a marvelous thing.
Oh! So you can replace plane tickets, traveler's checks, a lost card.
Really? That worked?
Hey, this is Lenny Williams, and I enjoy listening to IntellectualRadio.com and Making Waves with Miss Darci.
It's a new year and the first anniversary of our revolutionary acne treatment. To celebrate, we have an amazing new offer for you. Order Proactive Plus, and for a special limited time, you'll pay just $19.95. Imagine yourself with skin so clear and beautiful, you feel confident to go after all the things you want. Make it happen today with Proactive Plus.
That's a huge difference. Look at that. Proactive Plus makes me feel amazingly beautiful.
Proactive Plus is dermatologist developed to help seek out and fix problem areas on your skin. And it's proven to work 4 times faster than the leading prescription.
This product is doing it. I started seeing results with Proactive Plus within the first week.
Now's the best time ever to order, because we're offering extra savings to first-time customers. Call 1-800-773-5681 to get our 3-step system plus free gifts and free shipping. All just $19.95.
I use Proactive Plus every day. Like, I literally use this stuff.
Back, ready. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, we are live, intellect.com, an iHeart radio station. You can catch us locally, nationally, and internationally. We are live in the studio. I am your host for Making Waves, Miss Darci.
I am Burl Banks Mitchell, journalist and wellness advocate. Happy to be here.
And I am Deborah Vine, CEO and founder of The Answer Incorporated, Autism Awareness and Support Agency.
Thank you. And I'm going to let this young lady in red introduce herself, because nobody can introduce.
Dermatologic cosmetic surgeon practicing in Oak Brook, Illinois.
Welcome. So Dr. Aga, tell us, how did you get started with dermatology and why dermatology?
I was intrigued by dermatology the very first time I rotated when I was a first-year medical student. Actually, I rotated with a gentleman named Dr. Alan Burke, and he had two offices, and the first office was up north in Lake Forest. So the first office was in Lake Forest, as I said, and he saw a lot of patients who needed mostly aesthetic rejuvenations and things of that sort. And then he took me with him to his office at Illinois Masonic, and over there I saw patients who had numerous systemic diseases, things like sarcoidosis, and even patients who were unfortunate to have immunosuppression and HIV, and they had numerous skin conditions. And I thought, this is the perfect field because I can help patients get better. I can help them feel better and look better. So this was my calling. I was a first-year medical student, and I knew dermatology is the field for me.
Wow.
What a field to be in, to make people feel good and look good.
Absolutely.
I mean, to make someone feel good, to take away a cold is one thing, but to actually be able to, they can look in the mirror, difference in their face and their skin. And do you do crow's feet and everything?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that's a great point you bring it up.
Right. Can we get that done too?
A little Botox, a little filler here and there.
Absolutely.
All right.
And a healthy skin is my goal. And when if you come to my office, you're going to see a big mirror, and this is my logo, is mirror, mirror. And if you look at my card, and my tagline is reflect your health, because your skin reflects your health. There are many, many skin diseases that actually systemic diseases that manifest as a skin problem. And then we find out, so we're like a little investigator. And when I see something, I say, oh, do you have diabetes? And they say yes. And sometimes, and one time in my career, it happened that I diagnosed a patient with a grave disease. This patient had a stomach lymphoma, and he just showed up with hives to my office. But he looked ill, so I sent him to the hospital. We did the workup. So it's beyond just beautification. But it's important to look good, because when you look good, you also feel better, and you feel better about yourself.
With the community of people that my agency services, a lot of them have Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that with at least 3 of my students, that they have really bad, psoriasis.
Correct.
Does your office treat that as well?
Absolutely.
Because I know a lot of times with psoriasis is what you're putting in you, like not enough water or things like that. So what is it that you can kind of give someone that's suffering with psoriasis, maybe a couple of tidbits?
Psoriasis is an interesting disease because recently we know that patients who have psoriasis actually have systemic inflammation, and they are at much higher risk of developing the so-called metabolic syndrome, which is high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity.
Really?
And even aneurysms.
From psoriasis, right. I'm like, wow. I'm learning something.
So patients who have psoriasis are at high risk. And these studies were done with controls, meaning they controlled for all other factors such as smoking and family history. So there is an inflammatory component to psoriasis. And patients who have psoriasis also have psoriatic arthritis. So their joints are destroyed over the years. So it's very, very important to assess this. And with the unfortunate who have mental illness, I'll never forget developmental illnesses. I remember one of my patients who had autism, and he walked in and he had severe acne. And, I I discussed with the family, and I took a chance and said, I need to put this patient on Accutane. Kevin wouldn't even look me in the eye. And then after a couple months of treatment, Kevin walks into the office and he's looking at me.
It was transformative.
Transformative.
Yes.
Because patients like this are not going to come out and tell you, especially the autistic ones. They're not going to come and tell you, this is how I feel, because their verbal skills are not the best.
But you know what? When you're not feeling good and you're not looking good, that's a person that doesn't have a developmental or mental disability. When you're not feeling good, your self-esteem is low. You're not standing up straight. But when you're feeling good, you know you're looking good. You got your skin looking good, your makeup looking good. You're standing up straight. So that person, although they were autistic, they knew that something about their skin that wasn't right. So when you made that correction, it not only gave them the confidence, but be able to have eye contact is huge for a person.
And this applies to all ages and all ethnicities, and every ethnic group has ages differently and has different skin problems. A lot of men come to me all the time, and men are afraid to be judged, to be vain, but everybody wants to look good. Men who have dark circles or acne scars, right? And they're in business and they want to look good. I see a lot of young men who tell me, I wake up and I go to work, who tell me, oh, you look tired, but I'm not tired. So we really need to, address those issues, and I make them comfortable. So I say, when you sit in that chair as a patient, you're vulnerable. And we are all patients somewhere. I am a patient. You are a patient somewhere. And it's very important. When you sit in that chair, you become vulnerable. So it's very important to have this environment that's non-judgmental. I say, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you.
Can we talk about that a little bit more in terms of, we were talking a little bit about how the diet impacts your skin. Absolutely. And is it true that skin is the largest living organism on your body? Yes, isn't that true? Yes. So that's very important. So when we talk about as we're aging, how do we slow the signs of aging, and what are some of the things that we can do outside of an office or even some at-home care so that we can continue to have the best skin possible?
So there are two types of aging. There is the intrinsic aging, and there is the extrinsic aging. The intrinsic aging, where we're all going to age. The extrinsic aging is from the sun exposure. There are numerous twin studies that looked at twins and how much sun exposure they had, and so that is important. So very simple things such as a very nice, good sunscreen. But sunscreen can be an issue for some patients. So I tell my patients, you have to put a sunscreen that you like. Nobody wants things that are messy or leave a white residue on your skin. Make it fun. Skincare is not when you're rushing out of the house in the morning. Skincare happens. Give it time. Give it time. I tell all my women patients, we get our nails done every couple of weeks. We get our hair done. How about your skin? Your skin is the softest part of a woman, and we can fix it. You can have a big nose, you can have a narrow set of eyes, and that's okay. But skin is in your hands. You have to take care of it. I say it's like your car. It needs maintenance. Maintain it. And it does not have to be anything expensive. So, for example, a nice sunscreen. There's numerous brands. Some patients are prone to acne, so we have to be careful to choose the right sunscreen for them. Some patients are allergic to different sunscreens, so we have to make sure that we provide the right one for them. And I counsel them, and I sit down with them. I tell them exactly we have different brands. A lot of things are over the counter. So that's first and foremost.
Sunscreen, number one. Okay.
Sunscreen, and then the type of sunscreen, because I got to think they're like SPF 30. So I just started noticing that when I went to Dr. Oz about maybe a year and a half ago, and I went to her for my moles. Because they were bothering me. I had all these moles. And then she was like, yeah, you come in, and got the consultation, and she said, okay, I must appointment for you to come back. I couldn't even sleep the night before. I was like, oh my God, what is it going to look like? Is it going to be swole? You get all, because I've never had it done. So I get in there. Her whole staff was phenomenal. They make me feel comfortable. I'm sitting in there. I got Deborah be teasing me. She said she got to see what's in my cup. I had my coffee in my hand with my little straw, and I was sitting there, and she was like, I just need you to sit back. And I'm just sitting there rocking. Yeah, we need you to sit back. I was nervous.
You were anxious.
Girl. I was nervous. And she was like, it's going to be okay. And I mean, I had like a tear, but they made me feel comfortable. But you still don't know what your skin is going to look like after it's done.
Yes.
It looks really good.
So she cleaned my skin, and she started, and she said, you're going to feel a little pinch. And so I'm waiting, when somebody tell you what you're going to feel, I'm looking for it to just be like, over the top, right? And so she did it, and she said, "How did that feel?" I said, "You did it." I'm just like, I need you to relax. I was so scared.
She was removing the moles?
She was removing the moles. And she said, "I'm going to go right here too." I said, "You go my neck?" She was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my God. I was so scared. And then when she gave me the mirror, they were gone.
And they never came back?
And they never came
so
back.
This was
Is that hereditary, doctor, or moles?
Yes.
She did all of, I'm telling you, it happened so fast.
Working on me, we would be starting for tomorrow and be working for the next 10
because
years.
She did it.
I am the mole lady.
She did it so, because I had so many on my face.
More than
she. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, and she did it before, so I have to put the picture. I said, "You have it, I don't have it." The before and after, and I was just like this.
Make an appointment. I can't wait to make. I'm so glad that she brought up the point about us, just rushing through, skincare. Because my girlfriend laughs at me all the time. She called me in the morning, and I'll say, she said, "What you doing putting your makeup?" I said, "Well, I have to go through a regimen. I clean my skin."
Me too. Yeah.
And
let's talk about that regimen. What is it?
Regimen.
What is it?
Not only do I just put on my makeup, like the foundation, whatever. I put the primer on. I put all the stuff on to protect before I put the makeup on, but the moisturizer and everything. But I do that at night and before.
I do too. I especially do it at night because you shouldn't sleep in your makeup.
I moisturize. Oh, definitely take it off. But I moisturize. And even if I'm at home and I'm not having on any makeup, I do moisturize.
Me too.
Thank you.
Okay.
For moisturizer.
Why is that so important?
That's
especially
important.
as we age. And
yes.
I was asking about moles. Is that hereditary?
Yes. So a couple of things. First of all, just to get the terminology correct.
Oh, it's not called
sorry,
moles.
Darci. They're not called moles.
Thank you.
They are called. They have a name.
Okay.
Those they have a fancy long name that doesn't really stand for much other than those. The moles are difficult to cauterize or burn off like I've done for Darci.
Okay.
Moles actually have to be removed. However, what she's referring to is the so-called dermatosis papilosa nigra. The word dermatosis means it's not a dermatitis, it's not an inflammation. Obviously, they don't itch, they don't hurt. Papilosa means they're little bumps, and nigra, they look black. Okay. So these are very common in patients of ethnic descent, Hispanics, African Americans, and people Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, light people of color, skin of color, and they are really like little words, I call them, but they're not really words because words are of viral origin. But I say the word words this way, people say, "Oh, they can go away," because moles are a lot more difficult to remove. They leave scars if you remove them. So these are easily cauterizable, easily treated with different treatment modalities, and this is what I like to treat with. But I always do a test spot on everybody because every person heals differently. So I always do a couple areas and see how they heal. See them back a week later. So they can be genetic just because of ethnicity, so not necessarily hereditary, but because of ethnicity.
So someone that's like, say, for instance, suffering with what do they call it, keloid? That keloids. That's why you want them to come back. To
Absolutely,
see if it's
absolutely. And eggs. That's a great point because a keloid is the way you heal. It has nothing to do with the surgeon who's performed. It's how you heal.
Yeah.
You
say, for instance,
overheal.
The person that smokes.
Yeah.
A person that smokes take a long time healing because the oxygen's not getting to the blood.
Absolutely.
But the keloid.
Yeah. The keloid is the way you heal. So back to the regimen. So I say my goal is for every woman not to wear too much makeup. So we're going to be makeup free. And this is...
What's too much?
She's serious because when I come in there, she'll be like, you got on too much makeup.
That's like the first time I've heard that. That's great.
Okay.
That's great. That's the first time I've heard that.
I'm trying to actually, as I get older, I'm trying to wear less and less.
Yeah, me too.
But it's actually different types of makeup. It's your daytime makeup, and it's your evening makeup.
Yeah.
So, but I still go through the whole regimen. I mean, the eyeshadow, the primer, everything.
Yeah, the eye makeup is different. I'm talking about a foundation, a thick foundation.
I don't want foundation.
So I want women to be liberated of this foundation. I want us to be proud of our skin because we're going to make it soft and nice and smooth. So a regimen would be cleansing the face every day, obviously in the morning. We don't necessarily have to use anything that is harsh, and it really depends on the skin type. If somebody has dry skin or eczema, has tendency for eczema and rashes and dermatitis, would choose something that is fragrance-free and hypoallergenic. And there are many, many different brands that are over the counter. Somebody who has acne needs probably a little bit more help. There are several brands in our office. We dispense a certain brand called Elta MD. I've been dispensing it for many, many years. It's very affordable. Skincare does not have to be expensive. Okay, it's very affordable and it's very non-allergenic.
Burl skin is
beautiful skin.
Thank you.
And it's a process. And of course, every woman needs to be on some type of tretinoin retinoin, I call it, or the trade name is Retin-A. It helps with soften and smooth the skin. This is a prescription. This is going to be a small pea-sized amount that's applied at nighttime, and we build tolerance to it because it does peel the skin. So you're getting like a little fine chemical peel every night.
So I have a question about say for instance unorthodox things that we might do to our skin. Like somebody told me preparation H to take away the bags.
Preparation H has a steroid in it.
Right.
And topical steroids can, for a certain period of time, take out the inflammation and the swelling, but then it comes back.
It comes back.
And it comes back worse.
Does it really?
Yeah, please don't use hydrocortisone on your face without a doctor's guidance. I do use it a lot of times, but under my guidance, under dermatologist guidance.
So what about homeopathic things? Like, say, for instance, somebody told me that if you put lemons on your face, that it helps clear up the freckles.
So lemons have citric acid, and so does vinegar. You hear a lot of people put vinegar. So they can peel the skin a little bit. Now, what's a chemical peel? A chemical peel, for example, there are several chemical peels. One of them is so-called trichloroacetic acid. So anything that has a little bit of acidity may help the skin, but it's under guidance of somebody who's telling you what to do. So I'm not really against those, but what I'm against is when you just hear so many things and you started doing so many things and then it can have adverse event, especially in ethnic skin, because we tend to hyperpigment. We tend to turn brown after the skin is injured from anything, whether you cut yourself, whether you get a sunburn, whether you have a pimple that leaves a mark forever. Patients tell me, I have a scar. It's not really a scar. It's so-called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. That's why when you come to a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon, somebody who's going to treat your skin, make sure that they have experience treating ethnic skin.
So you're a plastic surgeon as well as a
No, I'm not a plastic surgeon. I'm a cosmetic surgeon, and there's a difference between the two.
And tell us the difference.
The difference is that cosmetic surgery is only geared towards things that are things like beautification, basically rejuvenation. Exactly. Plastic surgery goes, for example, for breast reconstruction or cleft lip or palate and things like that.
Doctor, I just want to make sure we get these three things down in terms of a regimen. You said cleanse the face, use sunscreen, retinol A. Is there something else that we should
in the morning? If moisturizing is a great idea, but don't overdo it so you don't clog your pores. So a nice moisturizer of your choice that you're going to be compliant with. There are numerous brands. Some of them combine sunscreen them as well, and that's a great idea. Something that SPF 25 or 30 or above. I do like physical blockers, things like zinc and titanium in a sunscreen. They block everything, even visible light. So
I have one more question about products. What about the products that they have as it relates to fillers, like line fillers, eye fillers?
Yes. So there are numerous fillers. So what do fillers do? Fillers fill the hollowness, for example, in the lower eyelids or the so-called parentheses. But they have to really be. You have to be very, very careful in who you go to. You have to go to somebody who's board certified and trained, because there are many complications of fillers. There are numerous cases of blindness. People who put fillers. Yeah, absolutely. Because the anatomy of the face is very intriguing. The way we're created. So there's a little artery that goes from here to there to the back of the eye. So numerous cases of blindness, especially in Asia. There are areas, danger zones.
I can't see it.
Danger.
What did you say?
I'm over here getting nervous when she said that. But that's right. You can't
see. I got fillers last week.
You just can't go to anybody. You have to do your
I think that's the point. Over-the-counter fillers.
Oh, okay.
Say for instance, ROC. This is one that I use for like right here.
Yes.
And I can actually see the difference since I've been using. Like these lines was like super, super deep. So I should have talked to a doctor first before I started using it. And now that we're talking, I was like, okay, what are the side effects of fillers over the counter?
So fillers, the skin is a very interesting organ because not everything can penetrate the skin.
Okay.
So there are claims that, this is going to penetrate and
we see that all the time.
If our skin is translucent, everything gets in, we have a very serious problem. So some of them do stimulate your own collagen eventually with time. And sometimes they work on your psychology too. So you think you're
okay, so I think
so that means that you aren't really seeing the lines as deeply as you think.
You just think we see them, right?
And then when you become fixated on it, it just gets worse in your mind. Is that
sometimes
true?
an eye exam is a good idea.
I actually can see better.
Deborah say, I see they gone right here. They gone.
And in my mind, they're looking better. Okay, S6.
Now, she also told me, I know we all wear earrings.
Yes.
So I went from my second hole to my first because the earrings are too long and they're pulling down on my skin, where you don't want it to slit your ear.
Mm-hmm.
So I was telling her about it. She said, I can fix that. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to make an appointment for that. I got to find out how much that costs because I need that done.
Fix the slit in your ear?
Yeah.
When you wear the earrings that are too long and it's too heavy. So the hole
So you
becomes
have thin
wider.
lobes.
Yeah.
So I need that
earlobe
fixed.
repair. It's a technique that is absolutely very easily done in the office.
Wow.
Minor surgery.
Wow.
About a half hour or so. I do take my time. So basically we cut this like a pie, whatever is slit open. We cut it, we remove it, and then we sew up the
Fascinating.
Right, because a lot of people, some people got the whole ear slit.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Because of the earrings,
Yeah.
But I'm trying to avoid it before it gets, because sometimes I could put on certain earrings and they just hurt before I even get it out the door and I have to take them off.
Wow.
Or I'll just say I'm wearing them all day and just deal with it.
I just stopped wearing big earrings altogether.
But it's not the big, it's the weight. It's the weight of the earring.
And every ear, I mean, from like maybe 2005 to maybe 2000 to about 2010, I was like the super big earring wearing. I saw a picture of myself and my earlobes were like doing this.
Yes.
And then I just went to studs.
But see, you can get away with that. I got long hair, so if I wear short, small, you can't see them. You can't. I'm just saying, you can't see the actual earring. So now I'm watching the weight of the earring to make sure I'm testing it to make sure that it's not pulling down. And there are a lot of them out there, so we just have to be conscious of that. Yeah.
Doctor, can you speak to that? How important it is for us to wear appropriate earrings so that it's not weighted on our ears and actually distort our earlobes?
Absolutely. Over time, it will do that. So several things also for earrings. Some women are allergic to nickel, and this can cause even they don't know, and then they come to say, oh, I have this rash on my ears, and then they have it near the buckle belt also, and then they have those rashes, and they have a lot of irritation, and therefore also pigmentation, especially if they are of ethnic skin. Anytime you injure the skin, keep in mind it can turn brown. So watch that skin, watch what you're putting on it. So earrings have to be, it depends also on the size of the earlobe. Okay, a lot of patients have much smaller size earlobe and a lot and very thin, but also earlobes age. If you look at women.
They do? Now this is newsflash. What?
Wow.
Wait a minute now. Really, Dr.
Do they get wrinkles and everything? Do you get earlobe facelifts?
Really? No, seriously, tell us about that.
Oh my God.
What do you mean?
Have you looked at women? Have you looked at women in their late 60s or 70s, especially the lighter? I feel the lighter skin type women, the earlobe sags. And when I'm doing fillers on my patients, I touch their earlobe. I say, "Does this bother you?" And say, "Yeah, it does." But I get patients that bother you, and say, "Yeah, it does." But I get patients that are vulnerable. They're not gonna say, "Oh, this bothers me." They're afraid to be judged. So I say, "How about those? How about those little 11s? How about those little concentration lines that you get there? Do they bother you?" I'll be happy. Would you like me to address them? Because sometimes we don't want us to address them.
Don't grab your ear. She over here grabbing her ear over here trying to.
No, that's fascinating.
Like I grabbed Darci.
But you don't know. She did. That's how she knew that I needed to have it done. She looked at my ear.
Okay?
Wow.
I mean,
that's amazing. That's really amazing.
Can you do that? Because I didn't know somebody could do that.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
But you learn.
That's
We
amazing.
can put a little filler in there. So sometimes if I have a little bit of filler left.
If I get some fillers, it's going here.
Hold on, Doctor, will you please finish? What can you do to fix that? Well, she's gonna purchase.
Wait, is she doing this? Is she pointing out where it's going and everything?
Oh my goodness.
I always say your face has to match your neck, has to match your hands, has to match your ear. It's overall.
Okay.
It's overall beautification, overall rejuvenation. It makes you feel good, and your body. And I always say your smile. Don't forget to see your dentist. Your smile. Smiles are very attractive. When you smile,
that's the truth.
It's their smiles lights up a room, right? So you have to, that smile has to be very important. So
well, we're gonna hold her thought on this because now we're gonna talk about
really good.
The difference between a microdermabrasion. We'll go to break and come back and talk about the difference between a microdermabrasion and a chemical peel.
Okay.
So I've had a chemical peel. Again, nervous again. But it was, she said you have the peeling or the scaling, but she made sure I had SPF sunscreen that was 85. And I'm telling you, it worked. Just like everything that people say, you're going to have this, your skin going to be peeling, you're going to be this. And I'm telling you, it peeled a little, but not to the extent that I've seen people. And that's why it's important to do your homework when somebody messing with your face. So we're going to talk about that when she come back, the difference between the two, and especially with African-American skin, because she emphasized that you can't keep it on too long. And I'm thinking it's a whole huge process. It took all of it, 7 to 8 minutes, and she was done.
Wow.
Like what we think, and I ain't gonna say what I think. Because I'm just like, what you need me to do? What? Okay, hold on. I'm letting everybody know this is where I'm at. This is what I'm I guess you got to come pick me up. We are live, IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart radio station, talking with Dr. Aga. If you have any questions with Dr. Aga, please call the studio. There's no such thing as a dumb question. We are all learning together.
Yes, we are.
Seriously.
And call us at 708-223-8953.
One more time. Give it to
708-223-8953.
Back. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Making Waves with Miss Darci, IntellectualRadio.com. We're up close and personal with Dr. Aga. She's a dermatologist, Summit Dermatology in Oak Brook. She's talking to us about our skin, the upkeep of if you don't have to go to a dermatologist, what you can do at home, remedies. And we're learning so much about our skin, which is our largest organ, and how we can maintain it. Of course, African American women age differently.
We were just talking about
that. So we were just
mm-hmm.
talking about that. So tell them about first let's talk about the difference between microdermabrasion and chemical peel for people in general and African American women.
Okay, so microdermabrasion is a mechanical stimulation of your skin. The goal is with any laser, chemical peel, microdermabrasion, dermabrasion is to stimulate your own collagen. So the idea is if you injure the skin with any of those modalities, the skin's going to start healing itself. And while it heals itself, it generates collagen. So for example, if you have an acne scar and we do a chemical peel on you, we rejuvenate the skin, we stimulate it, we injure it, so the skin thinks, oh, I have to heal. When you heal, you stimulate your own collagen by little cells called fibroblasts in the skin. And those cells stimulate this collagen, and therefore it fills that acne scar. So this is the concept behind any treatment modality.
Okay.
Chemical peel is just that. It's peeling the skin or causing a controlled injury, we call it, with a chemical instead of mechanical vibration like happens with microdermabrasion or with light or laser when we perform a laser. Darci spoke about her chemical peel and the reason why I left.
Well, how do you determine, first of all, which would be recommended for African American? Would it be a chemical peel or microdermabrasion? And then you can talk about the chemical peel.
Microdermabrasion is recommended. However, it does not give you the same results, the more impressive results that you want. And microdermabrasion is something that you have to repeat quite frequently, usually done by estheticians, not necessarily doctors, although we are trained to perform those. Chemical peels, there are several grades of chemical peeling. There is the medium depth peel, there's a superficial peel. I'm sure you've heard of a glycolic acid peels and all. These are, and salicylic acid peels. These are great. These are usually indicated for acne patients because they have anti-inflammatory properties. When we're looking at rejuvenation, we're going to have to go a little bit deeper. However, you have to be very, very careful because remember when I said anytime you injure the skin in a patient of ethnic origin, you can cause hyperpigmentation, even of skin, not necessarily skin of color. So that depth of injury is controlled. And this is where experience comes into play. So when you go to somebody who knows when to stop and what is expected, this is when you're going to get the best result. Having said that, things happen all the time and people heal differently. So I always do a very, very low percentage trichloroacetic acid chemical peel. And also the strength of a peel is by how many layers do you apply on the skin and how long do you keep it there. And also the nature of the skin. If somebody has a little bit more oily or sebaceous skin, then they can take it a little bit more. So that's why I always say we're going to do this the first time. And I tell the patients that don't expect too much shedding and peeling. I will not perform an aggressive chemical peel on any person of dark skin. I will after we have tried it the first time and several few times, and somebody who knows what to expect. And obviously sun protection is very, very important. You have to have not been sun exposed before and after the chemical peel.
Now, see, how do people know? Do you have to? I mean, that's good information that one would not come up with on their own. Yes. So is this where a consultation really comes into play, or Google, which a lot of people use?
Consultation with a board-certified dermatologist and someone who performs. Who performs.
So how long, Dr. Aga? Because I know when I came to get I got it done last Thursday. Was it Monday? No, that was Monday. Monday. Yeah. And I think I was in her office 15 minutes.
Yes.
Do you have anything on your skin right now?
Like what?
Makeup.
I have like little makeup and powder.
Really good.
Yeah.
Much lighter.
But she's on me because she don't want me to wear a lot. She's like, you got on too much, take this off. So she's on me like literally. Yeah. But she did of course I was scared. She did the chemical peel, and I mean she was done. She had me rinse my skin right there in the studio, and she gave me SPF 85.
85.
And I applied it on my skin 3 times a day. And I left there Monday and went to a meeting.
So you can go out and do things. You just, talk about skin exposure because that's important.
You can put makeup on.
I didn't even need it.
Yeah. After
I had my little bag, but I didn't use it.
Because your skin looks so good? I don't want to forget the question.
I don't know if you can, Dr. Aga, but I didn't. I cleansed my face with what they gave me. And she gave me moisturizer, and then I put the SPF because I was going outside. And I literally didn't. And what was so ironic to me is I got compliments, and I didn't have anything on but my lip gloss. Literally.
Yeah, it sheds all the dead skin, all the skin that's been exposed, especially this summer. We all went out, and so it's like time to wash it all out. Wash it off, with a nice chemical.
That sounds like something I want to get done.
So let's talk about your event. So she has a cool event coming up next Saturday. You guys need to be there. Yours truly will be in the building broadcasting live, but she has some discounts, things starting at $11 and $12. And We have raffles. She's going to have food. So tell them about the event, Dr. Aga.
So every year for the past 10 years, I've been hosting the so-called open house in my practice. And now it's truly back by popular demand. So the first year we did it as an open house to introduce the practice. And then we started we have lots and lots of patients who for years have been getting Botox and fillers. And they want some appreciation once a year to get a little bit of a discount on that Botox or Xeomin, which is the other type of Botox actually Christy Brinkley has been using on her skin, and she's going to be getting injected. I'm sorry. And then so this year, I thought we're going to do something different. This year is going to be called Patient Appreciation Day. You absolutely don't have to buy anything to come in. You just come in and we say thank you for being a patient, because I always say my patient, you the patient, make my practice the way it is. I'm a solo practitioner, and I love being a solo practitioner because I get to spend as much time as I can with my patients, and I don't have anybody bothering me. I always say the only boss in my practice is the patient.
So that's great. I mean, it sounds like you're talking about developing a relationship with your patients,
absolutely,
which goes.
I tell you, I got her number in my phone.
I was about to say it goes beyond the office, which
the cell number. I mean, I don't abuse it, but if I need to talk to her and I can't go her in the office, I can call her after hours.
That's when change really happens.
What's the average price? Because I know it's like per unit. I've researched it.
Wow.
But what's the average price per unit
for what?
For Botox?
So it varies. For example, in the city, I hear of doctors charging $17 a unit. In our practice is much lower because I do a lot of it. And my philosophy is that if I make it cost prohibitive, people are not going to get it. I want my patients to look good. So, and it's okay to do that. So there are two types of Botox. There's Xeomin, as I said, which is a fantastic product that we carry a lot of it in the office. We do tons of it. It's very equivalent to Botox by studies. And there's obviously Botox, and each varies, but nothing is more than $13 per unit in my practice.
And how often would you suggest for a person to get it done? Like, say, for instance, if a person came in to get something done for their forehead or their eyes or whatever, and they come back and they say, I need a few more units in a couple of weeks. Is that too soon? Can you go like every 2 weeks and get some Botox?
I never touch up before 2 weeks because the Botox or botulinum toxin is a drug, just like Tylenol.
And what's the side effects?
So there are many side effects. So it's a drug. So when you inject it in somebody, every person reacts differently, and it takes time. Just like if you take an ibuprofen, it helps your headache. If I take it, it may not help my headache.
Right.
It depends how fast does it work. Same thing. So for my first comers, it's always developing this relationship with them, and it's not about putting 1,000 units in there. I'm a minimalist when it comes to the first time patients. We put very few units, but you have to put the right dose for them to achieve what they want. So it is a dose, usually in the crow's feet, something around 10 units per side and no more than that. And I see everybody, especially the first comers, I see everybody at 2 weeks just to make sure. I said, just come on by. Let me make sure, because I don't want you walking funny, because also we are all asymmetric. Some side of our face moves differently from the other.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Every person is different. There's it's not a one size fits all. So.
And does the Botox move? Does it
it does not.
From here to here?
No, it does not. No, not in my hands.
So I have a question. Someone asked a question on the live. How do you remove a skin tag?
There's a couple ways of removing them. Sometimes we freeze them off with liquid nitrogen, just like we freeze a wart. And sometimes I prefer to snip it. This way I know it's gone once and once for all. I do have to numb it with a little local anesthetic. Sometimes it's a little bit uncomfortable. And that's that. Patients tend to be creative when they remove skin tags. I had a patient put a dental floss in there, but it got stuck and she had to come in for removal of dental floss stuck to a skin tag. Please don't hook it up to a door and slam the door and things of that sort at home, because you may cause a skin infection.
Is that like the moles that sit out?
Yes, but some of them are warts, so you have to make sure that it's a skin tag, not a wart. A lot of people have them on the neck and the armpits and areas of friction. No.
So if someone asks if they get the, what do you call it right there?
Crow's feet?
If they get that and they come into your office and have a consultation, they get it, will they be able to see results before they leave?
No, usually not. It takes at least 72 hours to up to 1 week as I said, it's a drug. It has to interact with your body, just like ibuprofen does not work in a moment.
Okay. It's like
Doctor, can we?
Marriage.
I just wanted to ask. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
We were talking about treatments, in procedures? Isn't it true that for different ages, you come in a certain amount of times. For instance, if somebody's 30, they may come in for a treatment, Botox or what have you, maybe twice a year or something because you're earlier. But if you're an older woman, like over 50, you may come in more often, and you really have to be careful about that so that you don't overdo it.
Yes. So
is that true?
Always reevaluate the patients. And when they come to say, I need a little bit more, we talk about it. When I walk into the room, I start talking to them about something totally unrelated. Talk about their families. I talk because
I'd be on pins. People talking about other stuff, and I'd be like, "Did you hear what I said?"
Yeah, I want to know how they're moving. I want to know how they're like. We're having this discussion. Yeah. Okay. Instead of telling them, smile or show me or frown. I'm evaluating. As soon as I walk into a room, I know what I'm going to do for them. But you know what? I give them the mirror and I say, "Tell me what bothers you about your skin." And I go over the aging process. Aging starts at age 25.
That's what got me. She said start at 25. I said 25.
Wow. I actually didn't start aging until yesterday.
Except for you.
She had a straight face. She was like, I actually didn't start. I was like, okay.
So, again, with sun exposure and all that. So, early on with sunscreens and diet and thinking, don't abuse your skin. Yes, absolutely. Stress. I wrote an article on skin and stress. And actually, in 2007, there was an article on MSN that says, does your skin need a shrink? One of my busiest seasons for acne is before finals. I see a lot of acne, eczema, psoriasis, hair loss all the time when patients have undergone a stressful event.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that because I thought it was just my imagination because I had a death in my family. Someone very close to me 6 months ago, my husband. Yeah. And I started getting these in the last month. I noticed that, wrinkles. And at first I was like, okay, over 60 things start happening, but stress. I mean, even just look at the presidents when they first be president, and 2 years later, their hair is gray.
Everything, their whole face changed.
That's true. Exactly. Yeah. So stresses can definitely give you the wrinkles that you didn't expect.
Absolutely. And many other skin diseases too. And it's important to acknowledge. And I tell my patients, we all have stress. There are only two types of people who don't have stress. Those who are 6 feet under and those who are lying to you. Yeah. Otherwise, we all have stress. It's just a matter of how we cope with it, how we deal with it.
Yeah. That's right.
And it's important to acknowledge and to know. And I ask them, is there any stressful event in your life? Men especially have a hard time telling me this. They think that as a sign of weakness. Yes. But they do just speak about it. And we counsel them and sometimes refer them to their primary care physicians to talk about it, and therapists, or whether or not they need, medications.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I'm, with getting things done for your body and I know it's a lot of people that probably just goes overboard, but a lot of stuff can be psychological. I mean, where you have to refer your clients out to, okay, you're going too far. I think you need to go see somebody because you might be looking at yourself like, for instance, a person that's anorexic, they see themselves as fat in the mirror and they're size 2. So, psychological referrals go hand in hand with the dermatology that you do as well. Correct?
Absolutely, especially with rejuvenation things and people who go too far. I've turned away so many patients who need extra fillers and extra things, and because I do not want my patients to be overdone, or there's also an entity called body dysmorphic disorder where patients really think they're fat or they have wrinkles and they don't, and we counsel them on that as well, and we let them know gently because this is a very sensitive topic.
So that shows
and
fashion.
It does. Yeah. And once you start with a procedure, do you have to keep it up for a lifetime in order to receive the results?
You do, for several reasons. First of all, this stuff wears off. Okay, so Botox, thankfully, does not last, is not permanent. And this is a great thing. I do not do anything that is permanent. These patients may not like it. So several items or furs on the market. Some of them last way much longer than I'd like for my patients. So that's one issue. The other issue is that we age a day. So you're noticing different things, and sometimes patients will say, I swear this wasn't there yesterday. I say, I believe you. I mean, that wrinkle may not have been there yesterday, but we traded.
So tell individuals who are watching today why they should show up next Saturday.
Okay, so back to next Saturday. Yes. This is going to be the biggest event of the year. So you're going to learn a lot next Saturday, and it's going to be a very fun and nice environment. And I have to say that Darci Redmond is going to be there. So that's one of the main reasons why you should come. But also you're going to learn and educate yourself. And it's going to be a relaxed environment. There is no pressure. There's no pressure in my office. There's not a deal that's going to only be today and you will never see it again. We're gonna also showcase a lot of lasers. And I'm very, very excited about the Pico-A laser that is safe and FDA approved for darker skin types for rejuvenation. Super excited
What is
about
it called?
that. It's called the Pico-A. It's by Syneron Candela, and which I have several of their lasers, like laser hair removal, also because hair removal is another very exactly very important area for women, and our lasers are safe for ethnic skin. Again, the laser that you use on a person of lighter skin type is not the one that you use on an ethnic skin patient. I've owned several of their lasers for many, many, many years. I've developed a great relationship with this wonderful company. Safety when it comes to cosmetic rejuvenation. So it's going to be an open house. Everybody's welcome. And Darci's going to be broadcasting. We're very excited about that. And then you're going to learn about it. And you're going to see a lot of women who have been there for years. And these are your best patients referrals and to talk to. They're going to tell you, they know me, I know them. And they'll tell you they've been coming regularly every 3 to 6 months, and they've been getting a lot of things. So we're super excited about that.
What's the date and the location?
So this is November 3rd, Saturday, November 3rd, in my office in Oak Brook Terrace on Summit Avenue.
What's the address?
It's 1 South 210 Summit, right on the intersection of Summit 14th. And
right on the side of Butterfield.
Exactly.
Roosevelt Road, Butterfield, 14th.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's the way I take to go to Nordstrom Rack.
I'll be there. It's right off there, because when I leave it, I hit Nordstrom Rack.
I'll be there.
Every time I leave her office, that's where I go. Yeah.
And it's going to be open. It's from 10 to 2, and everybody's welcome. We just asked for RSVP just so that we have enough food for everybody. Susa's Dream Cakes is going to be having the beautiful sweets table, and I will not give all the secrets and all the surprises that are going to be there. There will be many, many prizes, many raffle tickets that people are going to win a lot of things, and there will be $50 given to every patient who walks in for anything, credit towards anything, and we're taking $100 off fillers. Makers of Botox Allergan, MERS maker of Xeomin, Syneron Candela. It's going to be from 10 to 2. Also,
do we get same day service? Can we get a procedure that day?
If you'd like to, you can. Absolutely, you can.
So this is like a Botox party.
We're not calling it that. We're calling it a Patient Appreciation Day.
I like that
because
better.
lasers are going to be displayed as well. Also, I'm very excited that InstaLift is going to be there. So Silhouette InstaLift is thread lifting. Thread lifting is back on the market, and we are very excited about it.
Thread lifting?
Thread lifting.
What's
So
that?
instead of cutting on your face and having a facelift, you can get threads underneath the face. And we're gonna show this, and we've done numerous cases with great success. No cutting, no downtime, no surgery. So you get basically threads that will lift this little bit of jowling that you might have. The results vary, and they are
this one right here.
They are.
What time do it start?
Somebody.
At 10, I'll be there at 9:30. I want to be first in line.
Right, I know that's right.
Somebody's gonna
like, what?
Yeah, somebody's gonna win thread lift, generously donated by InstaLift also.
InstaLift.
Yes,
Okay.
InstaLift. So Insta is a very interesting thread. It has little cones that oppose each other. This way you oppose the traction. So you insert it near the jowls, and then I tuck it all the way high up in the scalp. So I tuck as much as I can, and we give traction and a little bit of lifting of the cheeks.
Wow. Is there anesthesia?
Somebody gonna win that?
Looking younger.
Somebody gonna win that?
Yes, somebody's
you
gonna
see me looking younger in the next few weeks? Yeah. It's because I'm gonna have some Botox, some fillers, and some.
Look, and look at Burl's face.
But you're gonna win. You already know you're gonna win that.
We got to get in line behind Deborah. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
I'm gonna win.
Oh my goodness!
I am.
Wow.
I'm excited.
Dr. Aga,
wow, this is amazing. I've learned so much.
I've learned so much. I'm
Yeah,
be at home looking up this
information
that she done told us about for next week. So I want to thank her for embracing our platform and talking to us about dermatology, Botox, fillers, because sometimes we have this illusion that it's this way and it's absolutely not.
Right.
And sometimes you do have to know to get the facts and get a board certified person.
That's key.
So something that we also
certified.
learned today that was just totally amazing to me was about the psoriasis. I'm definitely going
to that's huge
a
too.
lot of my students to you. I'm going to call their moms as soon as I hit my phone.
That's huge
because I'm looking at their skin, they're scratching, they're itching, the moms are trying everything, and just to know that it's something a little bit
Some relief.
deeper.
And also,
Absolutely.
I just want to add
Just
one
help
very
with that.
important thing. Obviously, cost and insurance comes into play, and these are all covered by insurance. However, there are two things that I do in my office. Number one, skin cancer screening is free for anybody who's worried about a mole, that are worried that are skin cancer. They get, this is part of the Spot Me free skin cancer screening program with the American Academy of Dermatology, because I'm one of their skin cancer ambassadors. So anybody who's worried about mole, I see them at absolutely no cost. Number two, part of what we do is clinical trials also. So if anybody does not have any insurance and they have some eczema or acne or anything else, they get sponsored under that clinical trial.
Great information.
And they get seen for free. And as a matter of fact, they get compensated if they fit the criteria.
Definitely have some.
Yeah, absolutely. We do.
Some of us. I have one student that I know his mom has tried everything.
Yes.
Everything. And I'm excited about it.
So if he comes, we're going to follow him.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he comes and he's able to get we want to definitely talk about how he was before, if they're willing, and showcase that. I think that would be awesome.
I think that'd be great to show the before and after.
Give him back to those who need.
Wonderful. That's
absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We love you. I love you. And I can't wait to see you. I am going to be there.
See down on my
I
phone.
see. You got to share her.
Okay.
This relationship.
I'm not going to even ask her to share. Look, I'm just going to be there.
But you all see what I talk about her to my family, literally, because she is so, between her and my hairstylist, I'm telling you, they are into health. And to me, that's more important than going and bouncing from shop to shop with your hair, different things. I try to do what and they're reasonable, and they're in the community. I love her. I love her spirit. When I met her a little over a year ago, and I'm telling you, she has been a cheerleader. And so I'm excited about meeting people, not only learning more about your health and skin. It's a great networking opportunity because you're going to meet people that you wouldn't normally meet. And then you get to see them and why they love this lady right here in red.
Exactly. It's clear. It's clear.
I thank her so much for taking time, because I know she's busy, and to come in and embrace us. I love it. We're going to come right back with a nugget or a tip on how you can market your business for little or no money before we close out. IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart radio station. I forgot to do the live, so we will have the entire show. It is on YouTube, and we'll post it after the show. So don't go anywhere. Please share the broadcast. Back in a moment. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, I'm telling you, even though I don't feel well, I've learned more from her today. As much as I be in her office, I've learned, I haven't been in her office that much, but I've learned so much from her. No, she has to call me, tell them, and say, come to my office. Because I really don't go. I be busy. But she was like, you need to come in here. You need to come in here. And I'm like, I can't. She said, yes, you can. I was like, okay. And then one day she texted me and she was trying to get me to come in. And she was like, answer your phone. Like,
that's what I was talking about, a relationship.
I tell her the same thing.
She said, she put on there, answer your phone. And I was like,
she sent me a text once, have a blessed day or have a great day. She said, Darci, I'm trying to have a great day, but you're not answering my phone
sure
call.
Did.
Otherwise, I would have had a better day. You know?
It came across my screen and I was like, oh my God. I put LOL, but I had to call her back. But she's right. I be busy. Y'all pray for me. Taking care of my dad is sometimes he know who we are. Sometimes he don't. He's put the healthcare aides out because when he realized he's talking to them and then he goes through that period of dementia, he tells them to get out.
Wow.
And it's so hard. I could be talking to him, bring him his food, we reminisce, and then he say, why are you in my house? Who are you? Get out. You know, and it's like trying to do all that and alone because none of my siblings, and I asked God why, but none of my siblings are helping. And it's really, really hard. So today I was supposed to go over there, but a girlfriend just texted me and said she's there because I got to go home and lay down. I just can't drive to the city. So it's people don't look like what they've been through and you just never know. So always say something uplifting or encouraging to people because you never know what they're going through.
That's true. And how you can help.
So how can you market? And you guys tell me if you think this is a good idea. One of them is to host a video, which I know Deborah will be good at. Training.
I will be good at that too.
And Burrow for like 5 minutes and say it's going to be a 10-minute training on any topic. It doesn't have to be about autism. It doesn't have to be about your program, but just something. It could be about being courageous, fear or success, and then get people to tune in. And I know Deborah talks about autism, I think once a week. And people tune in because I'd be like, okay, did I miss it? So I have it on my phone now as a reminder. And sometimes that's what we got these phones for. We pay $800, $900 for, which I know they don't cost that much, but you have to use your phone for other things, you know, meetings, everything. And I'm going to give you a tip that works for me and people laugh at me, but they doing it now and it's working. When you go to a networking event, which I just went to the Bellwood Chamber that was at the Joseph Center. And I think I left there with probably about 20 plus cards. So some cards are fancy and you can't write on them, right? So now I just have a note card, right? And each person I walk up to, I notice something about them.
That's a good one.
Their hair, their jewelry, their nails. Men have a bow tie, their shirt, their shoes, whatever. And when I email them, because the fortune is in the follow-up, when I email them, I tell them that one thing that stood out to me. And they was like, you remember that from 2 weeks ago? No, I got a piece of paper and I wrote it down. But I'm telling you, it speaks volume to them because now that it's not about me, it's about them. So it's shifted. And they're more inclined to say, what can I do to help you? Literally. My other thing is, now you have to be discreet when you do this, but it works. Every day, I take 10 business cards, right? And I go to the gas station, not to get gas. I park my car and I get out and I go to every pump. And y'all probably saying, okay, and why are you doing this? I take my business card and put it where the credit card goes.
That's very smart.
Because they got to pull that.
So clever.
They got to pull my card out to put their credit card to pay for their gas.
That is so clever.
And people call me and say, so you was in Lombard, huh? And I'll be like, yeah, that was a couple hours ago. And they was like, I saw your card in here. Clever. So what you do, this is what I do. And how can we do it? And it just goes. I'm just being honest.
That's very, very clever.
So yesterday when I went to River Edge, I did 5. And I did 5 when I left. And out of those 10, because I'm got to get rid of it. You pick what number, it could be 3, whatever, but you don't come home until you have done it, right? And so yesterday I did 10. And I've already gotten I think 5 or 6 responses that I have to respond back to. So I'm telling you, it works. Now, Burrow, share something that you think would be a way to advertise that requires little or no money if people are on a budget. And then we're going to close out.
Technology is unmatched. Let me just say that. But I truly believe in people power. So I believe that every day we have conversations with people. I think that you are a walking advertisement for what you do. So I think that you should find a way to introduce yourself and talk about what you do. I think you should pick a number. 10 people a day. Let's just start with that, because the connection that you make with another human being is unmatched by technology. And those are the kind of relationships and the kind of connections that last a lifetime. And I think that, as the doctor here pointed out, it's all about a relationship that goes beyond the clinic, or goes beyond the service, or beyond the office. And I think that's what enriches one's life. And I think that's the purpose. That's why we're here.
Deborah?
Well, I'm going to piggyback on both you ladies as far as the marketing goes. But one thing that I'm big on social media. That's technology. Mm-hmm. I'm big on social media, and I love talking to people. And I go to tons of events, and I don't care if it's a kid's birthday party. I'm going to have conversation with at least 5 people there, and I'm going to give them my card, whether they have anyone that's impacted by autism, or they just might know somebody or a family member. And I've learned that just in having conversations with people about what I do, how big autism has become, how it's impacting so many people, your neighbor, or someone at church, someone in the grocery store, your sister, your friend, your family member. There's so many people that's impacted by it, so I can't minimize that. So I talk to everyone about autism.
Dr. Aga, what do you think would be helpful for someone who's tuning in, listening, and they want to advertise their product, service, or brand on a low or no cost budget?
In my practice, truly word of mouth has been truly what built this practice, but also genuine care. There's a lot of gimmicks these days, and a lot of things that are not really true, and patients really, especially in our type of practice, which is also a business. So genuine care, be honest, honesty and integrity. Yesterday I performed a test spot on one of my patients. My laser was brand new, and I told her, I said, this is the first time that I performed this laser on you. You are my first patient. I've done thousands of other lasers, but today is the day that I'm doing the first time. You are my first case. Is that okay with you? She loved it. She has a, I trust you fully, but I disclosed that to her. Being honest with patients and with any of your clients, patients, anybody, just tell them the truth. They would much appreciate that. So honesty and integrity you can't beat that.
Absolutely.
Thank you again. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to embrace us today. We learned so much about taking care of our skin. Awesome. And again, we will be there next Saturday. I will post a flyer. This is how we learn. And if there's a topic you would like to talk to, you can hit up Deborah, hit up myself. The goal is to enlighten people and to uplift and share information, because we need to know. Sometimes we don't know, and we don't know how to get the information, or we try to bring it to you here twice a week. So thank you guys for tuning in. I do have to go and lay down because it's not getting any better, but I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thanks, super producer. In closing, build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to be theirs, and that could be me or one of these beautiful ladies to the right of me. Thanks for tuning in. Please share the broadcast today.